Hello, YouTube. So this year's Black Friday and Cyber Monday tech extravaganza is now over. What seemed to be just a few days seems to span 2 or 3 weeks now. But I hope that you picked up a tech bargain. And if you did, please do share what you bought down below in the comment area. In this video, I want to talk about the bargain that I picked up. And that is this. This is the new M5 MacBook Pro. And as you can see, I've got it in space black. And you can also see this is a fingerprint magnet. Just look at that. I mean, as soon as you touch it, it's just fingerprints go everywhere. Need to buy a cloth for it, which Apple probably sell for $3 grand. So yeah, this is the base model MacBook Pro, 16 gigabytes of memory, M5 chip, etc. I activated it last night, kind of set it up, well, basic setup for it. But I don't know much about it at this point beyond what others have said about the laptop, but it's a MacBook Pro, it's a evolution of what they've released over the last few years, so you can buy this with confidence. But what I'd like to do in this video is have an informal chat about why I bought this. Just talk about the thought process behind why I picked up a new MacBook Pro. Because I'm not, I would say, an Apple fanboy. I am starting to get more into the Apple ecosystem. I've got a Mac Studio and stuff. I've got a MacBook Pro. I've got an iPhone. I've got an iPad as well. But I still have a lot of Windows devices. I've still got an Android phone and all that as well. And when I am looking for something new, a new product, a new tech product, certainly in the computing world, I try and leave platforms out of it and just look at the product itself, which admittedly is getting harder because I'm not a fan of Windows 11. I'd rather go Mac OS or Linux now, if I'm honest. Right, I'll rewind a little bit. 6 long years ago on this channel, I did a live stream and I unboxed this. This is the Dell XPS 137390, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was maybe £1,400 or something at the time, or maybe 1,300, but I've got my money's worth out of this one. This has been a fantastic laptop for me. I've used it most weeks over the last 6 years. 13-inch display, 16 gigabytes of memory, 4K touchscreen, and it only weighs about 1.2 kilograms. It's still a capable little machine, it really is, but I think over the last year or two, I don't know if it's just applications using more CPU and more memory, or because Windows 11 sucks, but it is starting to feel a little bit sluggish, certainly when compared to my other computers. So for this Black Friday, I decided that I had to treat myself to a new laptop. And I spent 2 or 3 weeks in November looking for bargains, looking at reviews of laptops, and the top priority for me was a gaming laptop. I wanted something that I can do video editing on and I can do gaming on, but I can still do some other things on. And that's what I spent all my time on, looking at gaming laptops, reading gaming laptop reviews. But I was hedging my bets. I was considering some other options. And the reason being that gaming laptops tick a lot of boxes for me. I love gaming. I want to do video editing as well when I can. But gaming laptops are big, they're bulky, the battery life absolutely sucks on them, generally speaking. And they're quite noisy as well. And that's what the noise and, you know, that the overheating, etc., that can be a problem, because the great thing about this little laptop has been that it's super quiet. It does have a fan, but it doesn't really kick in that much, and it's super quiet. So this has not been a laptop for gaming or video editing. This has been a laptop for light productive work. And what I mean by that is emails, browsing the web, taking notes, you know, writing documents, printing documents, just your kind of day-to-day stuff. No gaming, no video editing. I mean, I did install Steam on it. I was playing some games on it, but just kind of older retro games, like Command and Conquer and different things. But I would consider this kind of a light productive kind of laptop. So top of the agenda was a gaming laptop, but I did think, instead of spending, say, what I was putting as a budget is £1,500 to £2 for a gaming laptop, I thought, well, another option would be to get a cheaper gaming laptop, but also buy either an M4 MacBook Air or a Microsoft Surface Pro or Microsoft Surface laptop. And one of the reasons I was considering a MacBook Air or a Surface laptop or a Surface Pro is that They're all quiet, they're all lightweight, they're all like capable, and they're all kind of similar to this in that they're small, portable, light, but they're fantastic for your day-to-day stuff. You know, you don't have to carry about something heavy. You can walk around the house with this, do some emails, do some browsing, great battery life. You don't have to worry about stuff like that. And that's what the gaming laptops are missing. And that's where my mindset was kind of at. Rather than getting a big, bulky, noisy gaming laptop, I'll get something cheaper, which is big and bulky, but complement it with a kind of portable laptop. And I was leaning towards that, but at the last minute, I saw a great deal for a MacBook Pro. So as I said, this is the M5 MacBook Pro, and this base model in the UK retails at £1,600, but Costco was doing a deal where they were selling it for £1,300. Now that is a significant discount, £300 on a MacBook, a brand new MacBook Pro at that. That's just not something you see. So I jumped at the chance. I dropped my quest for a gaming laptop and I picked up the MacBook Pro. And yeah, usual fantastic Apple unboxing experience. But yes, I got a great discount on this, but come on, Apple. They've removed the power adapter. You're buying an expensive laptop and they've just completely removed the power adapter. Now, I have bought another power adapter. I do have other chargers around the house, but there's just something about buying any laptop or any computer over £500, $500, and you don't get a power adapter to charge it. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't get their environmental argument with all this. Every laptop you buy should have a power adapter. It's a cheap move by Apple. Okay, that rant aside, I think I've got a bargain with this. I think it is a good deal. But why did I buy this? Why did I buy the MacBook Pro? Because the M4 MacBook Air was selling at like $760. That was a significant discount. It really was. But the M4 MacBook Air would have been perfect for me. It would have been perfect for me, and the extra money I could have put towards a gaming laptop. But the way that I was looking at this was that for an extra, what's that, like £540 or so, I got a Pro MacBook. And Pro isn't just a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, etc. What it gives me is, we've obviously got HDMI, we've got an SD card reader, we've got more Thunderbolt ports, etc. So for what I do, it is actually a lot more practical because you can maybe see it in the background. I've got like my camera in the background. If I record some footage, even if I'm not editing on this computer, I can take out the SD card, put it into here, sync those files to my NAS. So the fact that it's got an SD card reader built in is a big selling point for me. But it's not just that. You've got the much improved display. You've got the much improved SSD. It's much faster. It's double the storage as well. And it's, the MacBook Pro is just a more premium device. Now, I'm not criticizing the MacBook Air because I love the MacBook Air series and it's arguably better in some respects as far as portability and just simplicity and things like that. But for me, that extra money for the MacBook Pro, at least when I was buying it, it seemed like a good deal. It really did. But there is another thing as well, which I think is worth talking about. And I think that's the fact that it's zero risk. It really is zero risk. If I had bought a gaming laptop, as much fun as I'd have with it, I know in just a couple of months' time, if I sell that, I'm losing money. If I buy a $2,000 gaming laptop, I'll be selling it for $1,400, in a couple of months' time. You're going to lose money. It's going to depreciate. This is a brand new MacBook Pro. And if I sell this in a couple of months, because I bought this with a £300 discount, I could sell this in several months and probably just break even. I can use, it's almost like a free laptop in many ways because I've had such a big discount of £300. I can probably use this for the next 4 or 5 months and sell it if I want to change to a different MacBook or just a different laptop altogether. So it really was a zero risk purchase in my mind. It was such a good deal. And that was one of the things that was kind of on my mind, is that I'm not giving up my quest to buy a gaming laptop. I'm just delaying it by some time. And it gives me time to use this and see what I want to do with it and get used to using a MacBook every day as a laptop, because I've not had a MacBook since I had an M1 MacBook Air. So yeah, that ultimately is why I bought it. MacBooks are silent, they're powerful, they're portable, and they are expensive. I mean, I have spoke about this before, but the base model MacBooks are where the value are. I've did a whole video talking about this, but it really is, you know, the base model is where the value is. When you start increasing the storage, increasing the memory, etc., it can get very pricey very quickly, and that's where maybe certain Windows laptops start looking like a better deal. But for the base model, £1,300 for a MacBook Pro with a new M5 chip, that's amazing. Now, I think I gave you a little preview there. The Mac comparison page, if you look at the M4 to the M5 model from last year's model, you know, in many ways, it's the same laptop, same weight, same cameras, you know, everything is the same, ports and all that kind of stuff. It's even Wi-Fi 6E as well. It's not Wi-Fi 7. But the key thing here is that the SSD is apparently twice as fast as the one that was in the M4 series last year. But also, this M5 chip is really, really impressive. It really is. From the tests and reviews that I've seen online, the M5 over the M4 is like 15 to 30% higher CPU performance and up to 45% GPU performance increase. So that's incredible. On a year-on-year basis, that's incredible. It's just not something you normally see. And that's another thing that kind of swung me towards this, because I was kind of holding out for a few months thinking, oh, maybe I'll get the M5 MacBook Air. But, you know, the M5 MacBook Pro is obviously going to be, you know, a little bit faster just because it's got the fan built in. But yeah, M5, it looks like it's going to be an absolute beast to use. And yeah, I'm just delighted with the purchase. This isn't a review. I've hardly used this. I'm going to spend time with it over the next month, play with it a lot, you know, try and install even some games in it. I've got DaVinci Resolve on there already. I'm going to play around with it and explore its limitations and kind of get accustomed to what it can do. But I feel like I've made the right decision. I feel like, yes, I might end up buying a gaming laptop in the future. Maybe I'll pick up a MacBook Air at one point, maybe not. But I think at this price range, when you're picking up a MacBook Pro that's just been released for £300 off, you know, 1,600 down to 1,300, it is such a low risk purchase. It really is. So thanks for listening to me rant about this, listening to my view about why I bought this, because I was not looking to buy a MacBook Pro. If I didn't see that deal pop up, I wouldn't have bought a MacBook Pro. I might have bought a MacBook Air, but I wouldn't have bought a MacBook Pro. But it was just too good a deal to pass up. So I'm looking forward to trying this, and I'll be sure to share my thoughts about it all in the future. But until then, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe, leave a comment down below as well. And until next time, take care.